Good morning, adventurers.
Good morning.
We are waiting outside here at Mrs. Knott's Chicken Dinner Restaurant at Knott's Berry Farm for their Boysenberry Brunch. This time of year is generally known as the Boysenberry Festival here at Knott's Berry Farm, where they have a ton of tasty treats, all prepared with boysenberry in mind. And so they spare no expense here at the brunch because they add a lot of those boysenberry flavors to the food here.
They have some boysenberry French toast, boysenberry barbecue pork ribs, boysenberry mashed potatoes, boysenberry cheesecake, a lot of boysenberry.
Now, we do have an early reservation, so we might have to prepare our palate for all those foods, but I think we'll be in good shape. We just need to get in there and start grubbing. So what are we waiting for? Let's jump in and welcome to Dream Park. Welcome to Mrs. Knott's Chicken Dinner. So actually, we thought you have to check in the front, but there's a little check-in table around the back where you check in for your brunch. They'll mark your name down, bring you to your table, take your drink order, and then you're free to roam the line of food, which we took a sneak peek. There's a lot of stuff.
All right, this is the room of treasure. We have two sides of the buffet line. Both sides have the same food, but there are some different items all around the perimeter. So like for example, this is your Mexican section with your flour tortillas, enchiladas, menudo, rice. So just a little sneak peek at some of these dishes. They're looking really appetizing. Cheese enchiladas over here. And then we'll take a little glimpse of the dessert table, but we're not even remotely ready for dessert. But there's a lot of color on this table, I'll tell you that. This is where all of your main items are going to be. So you have your Mrs. Knott's fried chicken, barbecue boysenberry glazed salmon, that's looking delicious. Boysenberry pork ribs, I don't know if I should open everything because there's a lot of stuff here. You have your boysenberry barbecue meatballs, your peppers and kielbasa. What are we having here? Cheese and jalapeno bites, ooh, looking delicious. And we have some pretzel bites with a boysenberry cheese sauce. We got some seasonal vegetables, boysenberry mashed potatoes, as well as your traditional mashed potatoes in case you don't want to do the boysenberry version, but that's what we're here for. And then you have some vegan chili options and country gravy in case you want to put those on. Although I don't see biscuits, maybe I missed them, but those are there for you. You can put them on whatever you like. And then right over here you have a selection of salads. You have some mixed greens, some fruit salad, granola, yogurt, some pita bread with boysenberry hummus. Ooh, oh man. What is this? This looks like a boysenberry cobbler, although there's no sign, so I'm not too sure. You got your bagels and your boysenberry cream cheese with some boysenberry jam for all of your pastries right here. Your cheeses, cornbread, and then you do have your carving station, which is featuring the prime rib. Identical items on the other side, but right over here we have some deviled eggs along with your chilled shrimp and crab legs, complete with the mood lighting. And for the kids or the kids at heart, you have your cereal, different types of milk. Omelet station is next with some breakfast potatoes, complete with some chives, bacon. What do we have over here, Kenny? What is this? Scrambled eggs in here. Open up this lid and you have your bacon and sausage. Open up this one and boysenberry French toast, you know I'm getting that. And then, of course, the boysenberry grits. And then I think that rounds up all the breakfast items. Ooh, this looks like a complete plate.
Wow, that is a lot of food. Let's get started here. What are we gonna get first?
So this is what we got going on. A little bit of everything. Kind of looks like Kenny's plate. Time to get our boysenberry on.
It's tormenting me. It's time to eat. I don't think I've ever seen so much boysenberry in my life. Boysenberry mashed potatoes. Who's coming up with these ideas? Haven't eaten like 12 hours. I'm hungry. Wow, that is surprisingly delicious. You're getting the creamy mashed potato taste, but you're also getting a little sweetness with that boysenberry. This is satisfying.
It's hard to know where the boysenberry flavors end and where they start. There's a lot of boysenberry flavored stuff on our plates and some non-boysenberry items, but the boysenberry is what we came here for, so we're gonna talk about those.
Now, Michael might have a stronger opinion, but I don't know which French toast is better, over at Storytellers or over here at Knott's. But when you have the boysenberry drenched into the French toast, once it's been sitting for a while, that makes for some great French toast. You don't even need the syrup. Boysenberry is all you need. I don't usually go for cornbread, but it's boysenberry, so of course we're gonna give it a shot. There's a small hint of boysenberry. It's sweet, but cornbread usually is sweet, so there's not much boysenberry taste in there, but it's still good. And it's not dry either, it's pretty moist.
And what's next on the to-do list here?
We'll go with this single boysenberry meatball. I only got one, I didn't want to fill myself up. Doesn't smell like boysenberry. I think there's a boysenberry glaze around the meatball. So once you take the bite, that boysenberry infusion hits, and then after a few seconds it just goes back to barbecue. But this is good too. I really enjoy salmon. So this salmon is gonna be boysenberry glazed. Salmon is pretty strong as it is. There's a small taste of the glaze once you take a bite, but it gets overwhelmed by the rest of the salmon. So it kind of just tastes like a regular salmon. So if you enjoy salmon, you'll like it. But if you don't enjoy the fishy taste, then you're gonna catch that when you get the glazed salmon. All right, boysenberry cheese is not my favorite thing. It doesn't taste that good. It just tastes like melted cheese. So yeah, that wasn't my favorite. Moving on to the barbecue pork rib. Yeah, it looks pretty tender. Doesn't necessarily fall right off the bone, but that's alright. It really has that smoky flavor to it. I think I'm tasting the boysenberry. The boysenberry doesn't seem to be coming on too strong. I can taste it, but it mostly tastes like a regular barbecue pork rib. But I still like it. I'm still gonna eat it.
So on a scale of 1 boysenberries to 5 boysenberries, how strong of a boysenberry taste are we talking?
Maybe like a 3.
So 3.
3. I think when you get the boysenberry on top of the cream cheese, it might make it stronger. The purple food coloring, whatever they use, does not add enough boysenberry. If you really want the boysenberry with that cream cheese, you have to add the boysenberry on top of it. So if you add the boysenberry on top of it, then you get the full boysenberry flavor. But if you just get the purple cream cheese, it's gonna taste like regular cream cheese. Time to wash it all down with some punch. Ooh, yeah. That's packed with boysenberry for sure. Very sweet.
You just dip your bagel in it. Boysenberry right there.
Not gonna do that. Not, oh, you know. Refreshing. It makes the bread nice and soft.
So pretty much everything on the plate Kenny tried, but I'll give my 2 cents on it. The only thing he didn't try was the hummus and the pita bread. So the boysenberry hummus, I'll give that a shot because I love me some hummus. It smells like hummus. It's good. Tastes like hummus. There's a subtle boysenberry flavor. This is probably like in the 1 or 2. Very subtle. You get a little bit of boysenberry in there, but otherwise it's hummus. I do want to try this French toast. You got a good piece of boysenberry right there on the end. I don't know why I just picked it up with my hand. On that boysenberry scale, I think we're thinking like 3 boysenberries right here. Unless you get a piece that has some boysenberry like jam or preserves, whatever that is. The rest of it is just regular French toast, so you need that boysenberry stuff on it for it to be considered boysenberry French toast. Now I guess we should go for these mashed potatoes. A nice little chunk of boysenberry in there. That is surprisingly good. It tastes like mashed potatoes, but then the boysenberry hits your taste buds. And I got a little chunk of boysenberry in there, so that added a little bit of texture. Some people might not like it. I know a lot of people are turned off by the purple color of the potatoes, but it's just like having sweet potatoes. It's like just a slight variation of your regular potato. It's a solid. And the other item that was different was the boysenberry grits. I'm really not too familiar with grits. I've had it like a time or two, but Forks up.
What is grits?
I have no idea. I don't really know what grits is. I think it's made from corn or something. I could be totally wrong. I don't eat it often enough to know. All I know is that usually people compare it to like cream of wheat. It has a very mushy texture, almost like oatmeal, but not quite oatmeal. If I liked grits, I would probably like this, but since I'm not a grits fan, it's just okay. There's a little boysenberry flavoring. It's not sweet. It's like, it just has a very neutral taste. But if you're someone who likes grits, then this is gonna add a little boysenberry flavor into that dish for you. And it's about time we wash it all down. I got boysenberry lemonade. Kenny got the boysenberry punch. Definitely not as sweet as the punch, because I've had the punch. This is not as sweet. So if you don't want the sugar-free option of the punch, or the punch is too sweet for you, lemonade is right in the middle. And earlier I was saying that I didn't know where the biscuits were on the buffet line, but I guess they bring it right to your table with some boysenberry jam. So they bring the biscuits right to you. You don't have to get them on the buffet line. And if you want, you can even throw some like country gravy on top. Call it biscuits and gravy. I totally forgot to offer Kenny some grits, so bon appetit. Alright, so we're going for round 2. I'm gonna get some more savory items. We want to try this boysenberry salsa over here. So we're gonna get some chips, and then we might try these cheese enchiladas just because they look kind of tasty. I mean, ooh, look at that. Alright, Hopefully it's not spicy, otherwise we're in trouble. And we also got these cheese and jalapeno fondue bites. We gotta try a couple of these. Hopefully these aren't spicy either. What is vegan chili? What goes in the... Is it impossible meat or something? Let's try this. We're gonna try a little bit of vegan chili. Man, I think we're actually just getting all the spicy food right now. Vegan chili, And then of course we have to make a visit over here to the chilled shrimp and crab claw table because it's here, so why not? I don't know if Kenny's a crab claw kind of guy. I don't know. Doesn't seem like it.
Never had those in my life.
Look at that.
That's so weird.
Succulent.
That's weird.
Mr. Krabs. Mr. Krabs.
Poor crabs, man.
And we did get here pretty early. Our reservation was for 8 o'clock. Normally, reservations start at 9 for their brunches, but they had an 8 o'clock reservation available. So we got in here early, and it's been great because the crowds have been pretty low. People are still kind of trickling in. It was a little misty this morning, so that probably kept people at home in their blankets. But great because we have a lot more space and we can come and get as much boysenberry stuff as we like. We got a couple items. The only boysenberry item on this plate is the boysenberry salsa. All the other stuff is just like what you'd find on the regular menu. And of course they have your other stuff like your eggs and omelets, but I think it's safe to say that's pretty standard food, so we don't need to go ahead and try all that. But we wanted to try some of this stuff, which is a little bit more unique to the Boysenberry Brunch, or at least Mrs. Knott's chicken dinner. You're gonna find a chip that has some decent amount of salsa on it. Yep, that's spicy. Flavor's good, but if you're not a fan of spice, there's a kick in that for sure. Woo. But it's so good. The next thing we want to try are these potatoes, which have some green onions, bacon. I don't see any like cheese or anything on it, so I think it's just the potatoes. Those were good, but I think they are missing something. They need some kind of sauce, like a boysenberry drizzle, boysenberry cheese sauce. Hold on. All right. Boysenberry Brunch hack. We got some of the boysenberry cheese sauce from the pretzel bites, and we're just gonna, boom. Oh yes. Even though the cheese sauce wasn't very like boysenberry-ish to start, this is exactly what these potatoes need. You're welcome, Knots. But next, we have this jalapeno, I forgot what the heck it was called. Jalapeno fondue, cheese and jalapeno, I keep saying jalapeno, fondue, jalapeno fondue. It's a little dry inside. But I think the cheese sauce would be perfect for this. It's called a fondue bite, but I'm not sure why, because fondue usually dip inside like cheese, but there was nothing there with it, it was just these things. So I think these would go really well with the boysenberry cheese sauce. And I think this is pretty self-explanatory. Crab claw, your shrimp. Kenny's missing out. don't know how he's never had a crab claw.
Oh, this is so weird. This was moving at one point. Ooh. Fishy. Very fishy.
Can't say I've ever had vegan chili. Not sure what's in it. Looks like we got some corn, some kidney beans, what, garbanzo bean or like a chickpea. Not seeing any kind of meat in here. Some veggies. Tastes good. Not spicy at all. So if you need something hearty and you're vegan, it's a good choice. I don't know. Feels like it needs something, but I don't know quite what it is. Maybe it's because the word chili just means like some kind of meat. So I guess that's what I'm expecting, but there's no meat in here. But the flavor's still good. No boysenberry though.
It's not bad. I'm not a big fan of chili in general, but if you like the chili, I'm sure you'll like it here.
And now that we've gotten all the savory stuff out of the way, you know it leaves room for only one more thing. Dessert. Look at all this delicious stuff. You got boysenberries galore. Like, I think boysenberry is most present in the desserts because you got boysenberry cheesecake, boysenberry mini tarts, strawberry mini tarts. Look at these. These look so fun. Tie-dye boysenberry sugar cookies. Ooh. And then you got some chocolate fudge cake squares, boysenberry mini muffins rather than your traditional blueberry muffins, some sugar-free cake squares, boysenberry pie, a classic. This one doesn't have a sign, but it looks like some boysenberry cake of some kind. These ones are boysenberry buttercream cupcakes. I think the cake, like the cupcake itself is boysenberry, but the frosting is also boysenberry with the boysenberry on top. And then over here, mini boysenberry cream puffs and some eclairs. Oh man, where to begin? We're gonna roll out of here, I guarantee it. Alright, we're gonna start off with a mini tart, boysenberry. Oh gosh, oh no.
Not big enough.
You gotta go from underneath. There you go. Slap it on there. Oh my goodness. Kenny wants one of these, and so do I, so we're gonna split one because we need room for everything else. Although this is boysenberry, I'm gonna pass on it for now. Kenny doesn't want boysenberry pie, but I do, so I'll come back for that. We're gonna get one of these. Bam! I'm still trying to figure out what this is. It looks like a boysenberry funfetti cake. Let's hope it tastes as delicious as it looks. There are a lot of tasty dessert options, and we honestly didn't even get all of them, but we got some of the most appetizing looking ones. So I think I'm gonna start off with this. Tie-dye boysenberry sugar cookie. Wow, I like that. Give me more of this. It's distinctly sugar cookie, but also distinctly boysenberry flavored. Tastes honestly really good. It does kind of get hidden by the sweetness a little bit, that boysenberry flavor, but it's there. And probably say it's like on a boysenberry scale, 4. But this, on the other hand, right here, this boysenberry mini tart, I have no doubt it's gonna satisfy those boysenberry cravings. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure this mini tart is the same boysenberry filling that they use for the boysenberry pie. And I'm pretty sure this filling is the same that they use for the boysenberry jam that they gave us with the biscuits. I'm pretty sure it's all the same. They probably just use this for the filling. But it's good, so I don't mind it. This is definitely a downsize compared to the Princess Peach cupcake we had at Nintendo World. But I honestly thought that one was like a little too sweet. Kenny liked it, but I think this is more up my alley. Of purple. It doesn't taste a whole lot like boysenberry, but it's a good cupcake. Hopefully by now we all know what boysenberry pie tastes like, and if you don't, you are missing out. So we're gonna skip that and go straight over here to this boysenberry cake. No idea what this is. Yeah, a little underwhelming. It's fun because it's purple, but the taste-wise, I think it's actually the same thing as the cupcake, just without the funfetti part. I think the frostings are different. They might be the same. They might be the same, but the cake itself, not a whole lot of boysenberry going on there, but they're still tasty. I would go for the boysenberry though. It's Boysenberry Brunch, right? This is what we're here for. Now it's time to see what Kenny thinks when it comes to the dessert, because
we clearly have different taste palettes, if you haven't noticed by now.
Mr. Stark, I don't feel so good. The tie-dyed boysenberry sugar cookie. Michael said it was good. Let's see. This one is just saturated with purple boysenberry. So I say I got a strong taste of boysenberry in that bite.
These are the cookies they should be using for the cookie witches. Like the Christmas and Boysenberry Festival. They need these cookies. That's
right.
what we need.
That's right. That's right. Not those hockey pucks they use. That's why I had to get braces because they messed up my teeth so bad. But Michael said the cake is similar to the cupcake. It does look pretty similar. Same breading, different frosting maybe. Actually no. You think it might be same frosting?
Look, I don't know. Hard to tell.
It tastes like you went to your 5-year-old cousin's birthday party and this is the cake they gave out, which is not a bad cake. It's a good cake, but it's like, it's not bad, but it's just not boysenberry enough.
Just when we thought we were done, we forgot about the boysenberry cobbler. Oh man, this was sitting at the far end, so we kind of forgot it, but this looks delicious. We couldn't pass up the chance to eat boysenberry cobbler. So, I'm not really a big cobbler person. Honestly, this tastes really similar to the pie. It's just hot. The pie, like, it's like been prepared already and it's like sitting out there ready for the taking, but the cobbler is piping hot, ready to be eaten. Really nice on this misty Saturday morning. That's a 5 on the boysenberry scale. Because that's like pure boysenberry right there. And then of course there's a boysenberry cheesecake, although I think this is different from years past because in years past it looked like there's boysenberry infused. I'm honestly not trying to get my hopes up too high for this. Just your standard cheesecake with some boysenberry drizzle on it. Presentation is nice, but it's like a 1 on the boysenberry scale.
Bon appetit.
You know, they probably just put the boysenberry pie in some oven and then just like heat this up. I need some ice cream with this. They need to have vanilla ice cream or something to go along with this.
Missed opportunity. Could have had boysenberry ice cream.
I like the mixture of the boysenberry with the crumble on top. It's a nice flavor and a nice crunch. That's good though. I think I like the cobbler better than the pie.
What?
But you said this is just some basic old cheesecake? I didn't taste much of the boysenberry drizzle on the cheesecake. It's simple cheesecake, but simple cheesecake is always good cheesecake.
Well, I'd call that a successful first Boysenberry Brunch of the season. We had a ton of tasty items, and we still have a few more to go through before we can head out. So give us a minute, and we're gonna wrap up all these dishes and close it out.
Well, I must say I am boysenberried out for the rest of the month. Tons of food, a lot of boysenberry infused items. There was a small turnout, but it was still a great way for us to kick off the Boysenberry Festival.
We're first-time Boysenberry Brunchers, so this was a great experience. Granted, we're very used to the way things are done over at Storytellers Cafe because it's character dining. Even for the buffet for like Not Scary Farm, there was character dining. So here was different because there was no characters. It was just you and the food and
stuff in your face.
Exactly, yeah. But it was definitely a great way to try all these boysenberry items out because unlike the Boysenberry Festival where you just have tasting cards and a certain number of tabs, there's a ton of variety here and you can try as many items as you want and as many times as you want. It is a little bit pricey compared to last year, just it's almost like double the price of what it was last year. The variety does make up for it, but it is a little bit on the heftier side of the price tag.
Remember to portion your food wisely, don't go all out at once.
Yeah.
Learn from us.
And take advantage of those boysenberry mimosas if you're into that kind of thing. If you haven't already, make sure to check it out, see if you might be interested in trying out the Boysenberry Brunch. It only runs through the Boysenberry Festival, so it's only a couple weeks up until I think mid-April this year.
Yep.
And we're gonna try to check out the Boysenberry Festival ourselves, but until then, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. We'll catch you guys on the next Drink Park adventure.
Bye everybody.